Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for today's NBA slate on Wednesday, May the 14th. We got two games on Wednesday night. We got some potential closeout games. We got Game 5 of Celtics and Knicks. Obviously, the Knicks, they're up 3-1 in that series. They got a chance to close things out in what would be a huge upset. Obviously, Boston, dealing with injuries. Jason Tatum not going to be playing for this game, not going to be playing the rest of the season. So Boston, kind of facing an uphill battle here, but they're at home. We'll see if they can pull out a win, force a Game 6. And then we got Game 5 of Warriors and Timberwolves. Warriors in a similar situation, dealing with injuries. Once again, looks like Steph Curry's going to be out for this game. They're going on the road to Minnesota. They're double-digit underdogs. This feels like a spot where Golden State's season probably comes to an end. Minnesota, probably will punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals after tonight, but we'll see how it goes. We got Game 5 of Warriors Timberwolves. We got Game 5 of Knicks and Celtics. So I got two early player props, guys, that I do like for these two games on Wednesday night. Taking a first look at the board Tuesday night. So we're going to talk through these plays. We're going to share why I like them. Now, before we do get started, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. If you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, and if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, be sure to sign up. Use that promo code NOAH. And when you guys sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and place your first $5 lineup, you're going to get $50 instantly added to your account. So easy way to build up your bankroll on Prizepicks. Use those $50 that they give you to hopefully win some money, build up that bankroll. And again, if you want access to this promo, make sure that you sign up with code NOAH. And then I do also want to shout out Sleeper, because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. You guys can go sign up for Sleeper. Download their app, use promo code NOAH, and you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. Whatever you put in on your first deposit, Sleeper will match that up to $100. So this is another way to kind of get your bankroll started to build up over on Sleeper. Use the extra money that they give you on your deposit to hopefully win some money. You can use the promotions as well that they do throughout the week. Sleeper's always doing discounts, protected plays, payout boosts. They've got a ton of promotions that they do throughout the week. I would say of all the like pick 'em apps that I've seen, Sleeper I think does the most promotions and discounts of like any app. They basically have them every day. So that's one of the benefits of signing up for Sleeper. And if you guys do want to check out Sleeper, again, use that promo code NOAH when you sign up to get your first deposit matched up to $100. But yeah, guys, we got two plays to talk about for today on Wednesday. Now, I do want to recap our plays from Tuesday's video before we go over today's plays. So, give out two picks Tuesday, and we went 2-0. It's about damn time. Finally got a 2-0 sweep. Gave out two picks. We hit on Tyrese Halliburton over 39.5 fantasy score. That one was actually looking a little bit sweaty because Halliburton got into some early foul trouble, picked up 2 fouls early in the first quarter. His minutes got cut down in the first half because of some foul trouble, but he came out and was red hot in the third quarter, was just making a ton of threes. I think he made like 4 or 5 threes in the quarter. Every time I looked up, I swear he was making a three. But Halliburton had a really big game, really big second half, went over his fantasy score line. And then we took Isaiah Hartenstein over first half fantasy score, which cashed as well. Hartenstein, I think, played 17 minutes in the first half, and we took him over 14.5 first half fantasy score. Pretty sure he had like 18 or 19 fantasy points in the first half. Hopefully he goes over his full game line too if you took that, but obviously I kind of recommended taking the first half play. That OKC Denver game still going on as I'm recording this video, so we'll see how that game finishes up. But yeah, guys, we went 2-0 on our two plays on Tuesday. Let's see if we can go 2-0 on these two plays for Wednesday. So the first prop that I like for tonight is going to start off in the Knicks and Celtics game. We're going to look at a PRA prop, and I like Luke Kornet for less than 10.5 PRA. So Luke Kornet's PRA line last game was 6.5, and I was actually debating on taking the under on 6.5 PRA for Kornet last game. I decided not to. And Kornet played 8 minutes and had 0 PRA, so in hindsight, I wish I would have took that under. Now his line is 10.5 today, and I think the reason his line did get bumped up today is because Jason Tatum is obviously out for this game. But Jason Tatum being out, I don't really know how much that impacts Luke Kornet's role, if any. Kornet, he's kind of been like just fringely in the rotation lately. You look at his minutes so far in this series, he did play 17 minutes in Game 1, played 18 minutes in Game 2. But then the last two games, we've seen the minutes really come down on Luke Kornet. Only 10 minutes in Game 3, only 8 minutes last game. Kristaps Porzingis has been dealing with an illness that's been bothering him, that's been keeping his minutes down. but we're starting to see the minutes kind of come back up on Kristaps Porzingis, and Porzingis looks like he's kind of starting to get back to being fully healthy. Porzingis, I believe, was able to play, I think, 24 minutes last game, and obviously without Jason Tatum, they're going to need Porzingis to play even more minutes in this game, in a must-win game. So the more minutes that Porzingis plays, that's just going to mean less minutes for Luke Kornet. I don't really know how much Kornet and Porzingis are going to play alongside each other, if any. They probably won't play any minutes together. So if we're getting like 30 minutes from Porzingis, we're going to get minutes from Al Horford too. Like, I just don't know how many minutes Kornet really plays here, and I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to play like 7-8 minutes, if that. This is a must-win game for Boston. Obviously, if they lose this game, their season's over. I expect them to lean heavily on their main guys. I think we're going to see 40 minutes from Derek White, 40 minutes from Jaylen Brown. Drew Holiday's probably playing 30-plus minutes, 35 minutes. Al Horford's probably playing 30-plus minutes. Porzingis, if he can handle it, is probably going to play 30-plus minutes. Peyton Pritchard off the bench is going to play a lot. And then we'll see what other bench guys get minutes. Sam Hauser has been out lately. He's been part of their bench rotation when he's been healthy. He's listed as questionable for today. So if Sam Hauser is available to play, that actually could be good for us, because that could be just more minutes. That's less minutes that Kornet could play if they have just another guy off the bench that they can give minutes to. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Kornet's not even in the rotation. I think that's pretty unlikely. I think he'll still get some minutes. And obviously, for this under to hit, he has to play at least, a second. So we're going to need him to play at least some, get on the floor at least for a little bit. But man, I don't think he's going to have a really long leash at all. Like, I think if he's playing poorly, if he's not playing well, like, he's going to get quickly pulled off the floor. And the matchup's terrible for him too. I mean, Luke Kornet's a guy that kind of relies on rebounding, putbacks, to score. He obviously scores like all of his points around the rim. He's not a guy that really has any jump shot. Like, if he's scoring, it's going to be around the rim. And the Knicks are a great team defending the rim because Mitchell Robinson is such a good rim protector. He's such a great shot blocker. Mitchell Robinson is also a great rebounder. He's great at keeping centers off the glass. I think this season, the Knicks gave up the fewest rebounds to centers. So it's just not a good matchup for Kornet either. Obviously, last game he played 8 minutes, had 0 stats in 8 minutes. Just, I understand why his line got bumped up today because there is no Jason Tatum. But like I said, I just don't know if Jason Tatum being out has much of an impact on Luke Kornet's role. I think Kornet's still just going to play his 8 to 10 minutes, if that. Maybe they cut his minutes down in a must-win game because, he really hasn't been doing anything lately. Maybe this is the game that he just randomly pops off, but in a tough matchup where he's struggled, I'll take this under on Luke Kornet, under 10.5. And for what it's worth, during the regular season, Luke Kornet in 4 games without Jason Tatum where he played 20 minutes or less, he was under this PRA line in 3 out of 4 games. So even he's had some big games without Tatum during the regular season, but a lot of those big games that he had without Tatum were, he was playing like a bunch of minutes. He played like 30 minutes in a couple of those games. Obviously Kornet's not getting anywhere near 30 minutes a day. I think Kornet's probably going to play 10, 12 minutes, if that, maybe less. Maybe he plays a little bit more, but even if he plays more than 10 to 12 minutes, I don't think it's a guarantee he goes over this PRA line because, like I said, just the matchup's so tough. So give me Luke Kornet, less than 10.5 PRA is our first prop for today. And then the other prop that I like in the Timberwolves and Warriors game is going to be a points prop. We're going to look at Naz Reid, 10 points, and I like Naz Reid for more than 10 points. So Naz Reid, if you look at his game log lately, it's kind of been an up and down trend. He was great in games 1 and 2 of this series against the Warriors, and then the last 2 games he's really struggled. And if you look at so far in the playoffs, Reid's best games have been at home. Now, is that just some random fluke? Is that a trend that we should expect to continue? I think it's a trend that we could maybe see continue because a lot of guys similar to Naz Reid, these role players coming off the bench, these guys tend to play better at home. And it's just historically role players will tend to play better at home. And so far in the playoffs, Reid is over this points prop, and I believe if we look at his home games in the playoffs, 11 points, 12 points, 19 points, 11 points. So 4 out of 4 home games, he's over this points prop. If we look at his games on the road, 5, 9, 3, 9, and 23. So he's only over in 1 out of 5 games on the road. And if we look in this series, obviously he's gone over in 2 out of 4 games in the series. He's went under the last 2 games. His minutes the last 2 games have been down a little bit, 25 minutes, 24 minutes. I believe he has dealt with foul trouble in both of those games. Naz Reid's a guy that typically doesn't get into foul trouble much. Obviously, knock on wood, we hope he doesn't get in foul trouble tonight. But if we look at his fouls per game, he's only averaged 2.4 fouls per game. So he's not a guy that we should typically expect to get into foul trouble. And, fouls have kind of been an issue for him the last 2 games. But I would expect that, I wouldn't expect that to continue. Like, I don't think we can just expect Naz Reid to get in foul trouble every game. And again, this is a player that has played really well at home in the playoffs. He's typically been a player that when he's on the floor, he can score. He's a really good three-point shooter. The Warriors are going to leave him open from 3. The matchup, I think, sets up pretty well for him, too. We've seen Rudy Gobert kind of struggle in this series. Gobert's minutes have kind of been all over the place. Wouldn't be surprising to see Naz Reid take some minutes away from Gobert. I think it's pretty unlikely Naz Reid takes minutes away from Julius Randle because Julius Randle's just been playing so well. But, if by some chance Julius Randle gets into early foul trouble or Rudy Gobert gets into early foul trouble, that's obviously going to bring Naz Reid right into the game because, Gobert, struggling or foul trouble, Randle struggling, foul trouble, any of those things happen, Naz Reid's going to be the guy that benefits there. So Naz Reid has a path to over 30 minutes here. He did play over 30 minutes in both of the first 2 games in this series. Obviously, both those games were at home, played really well. I think he plays well here at home and, a closeout game for Minnesota. And if you look at Reid's stats at home compared to on the road, in the regular season, Reid did average 14.9 points per game at home. On the road, 13.5 points per game. And then if you look at his shooting efficiency at home, he shot 48% from the field and 40.9%, so basically 41% from 3 at home. On the road, his shooting percentages were much worse, 44.1%, 34.5%. So it's not surprising to see Reid put up more points at home this season because he just shot the ball better at home. That's kind of been the same so far in the playoffs. Hopefully that continues here. I do like Naz Reid for more than 10 points as our second prop for today. So these are the 2 props, guys, that we're going to roll with for the 2-game slate on Wednesday night. Again, we got Game 5 of Celtics-Knicks. We got Game 5 of Timberwolves and Warriors. I got 2 plays I like. We'll see if we can go 2-0 here on these 2 plays. But again, guys, appreciate you watching. Appreciate your support on these Prizepicks videos. Make sure that you hit that like button down below if you enjoy these videos. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys don't have an account over on Prizepicks, again, be sure to go sign up for Prizepicks and use that promo code NOAH when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and place your first $5 lineup. You're going to get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. So check out Prizepicks if you have not yet. But good luck as always. Let's win some money tonight, guys. I'll see you in the next video.